All right, man. Let's talk about it. Just came through. Chicago Bears to hire Detroit Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson. Let's talk about it. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And the subscribe button is the bell icon button. They are finalizing the hire. It came up earlier today that he was a prime candidate. A lot of people thought he was going to the Raiders, but also when you think about the AFC West, you got to compete with Patrick Mahomes. Denver Broncos got a good squad. The Chargers made the playoffs, and you got to be in a division with Patrick Mahomes. So, and three other playoff teams with no quarterback. And, right now they don't have a plan to get a quarterback. So, the Chicago Bears finalizing deal to hire Lions Ben Johnson as head coach. The Chicago and check out the NFC North playoffs. Detroit Lions top playlist. Chicago Bears have finalized a deal to hire Detroit Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson as their next head coach. Sources told ESPN Adam Schefter Monday. Johnson, who's been a Lions offensive coordinator the past 3 seasons, will fill the job vacated by Matt Eberflus. Was fired during the seasons. Johnson was available to be hired after the Lions, who were the NFC number 1 seed in the playoffs, were stunned on Saturday night by the Washington Commanders. He has rebuffed his interest from teams the past few years, but now he will take over Chicago to coach quarterback Caleb Williams, and he already know the Lions got a weak ass quarterback in Jared Goff. The Packers ain't shit, and right now we know that the Minnesota Vikings, we don't know what's going on there with their quarterback situation. So it was way better than the AFC West. So, it is what it is. I mean, I think it's a good hire for him. Obviously, he passed up on the Washington Commander job. And necessarily for the Lions, it could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing. Now, Dan Campbell did speak on, what he wanted in a offensive coordinator. Going forward, he basically said that he wanted somebody that can keep the same language or the same, verbiage, or, I think it was like some of the same verbiage and language that Goff was familiar with, and that he'd be an integral part of finding another offensive coordinator, and wanted to keep Goff succeeding. So obviously Goff is going to be back, especially after they paid him that quarterback, that money. I don't believe the Lions can win the Super Bowl and probably even reach a Super Bowl with Jared Goff. That's my opinion. That's kind of been my opinion since day one. It looked like they could this year, but he just not that guy. But that's another video for another day. And that's why Ben Johnson felt so comfortable staying within the division. He doesn't fear the Lions. He know that Jared Goff ain't that good, and he probably could do a lot more things in Chicago with Caleb Williams, especially if they can get past playing in the cold weather, and then obviously the Windy City. So I think it's a great pickup for them. But also we're going to see if Ben Johnson is a leader of men. Just because you're a great offensive coordinator don't mean you're going to be a great head coach. So everybody get caught up in the X's and O's, and it's more important. What's more important is managing personalities, time management, not on the field, but time management, how you're going to manage, the buses and people who late, and the personality, man, all that come before knowing X's and O's. Honestly, like I said, it could be a great thing or a bad thing for the Lions. To be honest, I feel like the Lions probably need to tone it down. I think Jared Goff probably shouldn't be throwing the ball more than 20 times a game. That's just my opinion on it. He probably shouldn't be throwing the ball more than 20 times a game. So they probably need to simplify it, bring somebody in who could do a robust run game, run. And that was the difference between Philadelphia still being in the playoffs and the Lions not being in the playoffs. As simple as that. Philadelphia kept it simple. They didn't get cute and try to throw the motherfucker around. They knew the Rams couldn't stop their run. You know what I'm saying? The Lions, the Commanders couldn't stop their run. The same thing with San Francisco. The Lions was running like a really good versus San Francisco, and they started to get cute. So maybe simplifying the offensive coordinator a little bit position is just run, play action, pass, and maybe they can get by. I mean, Philadelphia is literally getting to the Super Bowl without having a robust passing game. So So yeah, that's my opinion on it. I think it's a good hire for them. I think it's good for the Lions to move on from Ben Johnson. I think they need to simplify some things. And I think he can do some things that he couldn't do with limited Jared Goff. I mean, now, Caleb Williams, he can use his wheels. He can do things, get him on the boot, get him moving, move the pocket. They could do some things, some design runs he couldn't do in Detroit. So um, I think, if he's able to be a good leader of men, if he able to rule with an iron fist and manage personalities, and overall be a great head coach and not just come in and be an offensive coordinator, hire a defensive guy, I think that and make the adjustment to playing in the cold weather. I think he'd be very successful there. But that's an if. That's a lot of things that you got to think about doing. You know, you got to manage personalities, and you got to lead men. You got to lead coaches. He just can't be on the offensive side of things. He got to be on the defensive side of things too. So I think they got the weaponry. They got a good defense. But I just think that sometimes he just get too cute in his play calling, and they try to, his thing is, he want to throw the ball to open up the run. And to be honest, and I think another question that maybe people in Chicago got to ask: how much did Dan Campbell really rein him in from doing what he wanted to do? I know Dan Campbell fired Anthony Lynn, who was the original offensive coordinator. He fired him because he was letting Jared Goff throw the ball too much, and he wanted to run the ball a lot more. And that's how Jared Goff got the position. That's how Ben Johnson got the position. So, yeah. So, how much was Dan Campbell being that bumper where Ben Johnson really was forced to run the ball more than, what I'm saying? Um, how much was Ben Johnson, able to run the ball you know, how can I say this? I think he was. I think he wanted to pass more than he actually did. I really do. I think he wanted to pass more than he actually did, and I think as much as they ran the football, I think they had a lot to do with Dan Campbell wanting to run that football. So now you remove Dan Campbell, does he go to Chicago, get cute, and continue to throw the football a ton? And if that's the case, and he go to Chicago, he throw the football a ton in that weather, his tenure in there might not be successful. So I think the number one thing you want to do when you go on to Chicago, going outdoors, you want to throw the fucking football. You want to run the football. You want to run the football. So hopefully, for his sake, that he runs the football. Yeah, he runs the football. So we'll see. Um, but I think Dan Campbell really forced him to run the football more than he wanted to. You know, and I wish he ran it. I wish the game plan was to run it a lot more this past Saturday, but he didn't. 2 years in a row. So I think it may be a good thing for the Lions. But hey, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and subscribe button. It's the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance, get notifications. We go live or drop video financially. Want to support the channel? Cash App, $ CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link description. Hit the link tree. Find me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. All the links inside the link tree. Appreciate the love, support. Peace.